Yo, I've decided on this for my intro song. Alright, let's IL Texas, Garland High School. Thank you guys for having me. I had a great time. Sorry to delay for this video, but I am I'm gonna get it done now. Alright. Okay. Let's check Instagram for questions. We'll start from the top. Oh, also, right now I'm in Kaufman, Texas. Speaking at Kaufman High School and Kaufman Middle School in a little bit. It's 5:17 in the morning. Yeah, I'm in the parking lot of a Walmart. Welcome to my home. I live in a van, but in it's a my choice way. I'm not homeless or anything. I just like to travel a lot, so got everything I need in here. Anyway, all right, let's start this off. Grant Sunpoint Fitness, Cam F, what up? Second, TX Asher, and that is Ashton. Ashton asks, do fish get thirsty? I don't believe they get thirsty, but imagine if you had to eat or drink the same thing every day, you'd probably get tired of it. So I'm pretty sure it wants a soda or a Red Bull or something, but I don't think it's necessarily thirsty. And next question. IL Texas, PTO, fantastic. Sounds like a fun program. Thank you. Boom. David.C_17. And that is David Castro. David Castro asked, how is it you like knowing that people look up to you? Actually, I thought it would be cooler because now that I know people look up, every couple years when I look back at how I used to be, I've changed so much in the last few years and I've grown so much. I'm embarrassed by me at 30. I'm embarrassed by the idiot I was at 24. And to think that people looked up to me when I was 24, I'm like, no, don't look up to that dude. Look up to 30-year-old Cam. And I only hope that I can look back and say that I was dumb when I was 30 because I've learned so much by 34. So, but I would I guess it'll be pressure, and also I don't know what's expected of me. And if I were to just kind of do whatever was expected of me and kind of just walk the line and kind of just be the stereotypical role model, then I wouldn't be authentic, I wouldn't be myself, and I wouldn't be effective. So I'm just gonna do me and kind of just be a quality person and try my best. All right, good question, David. Pepino 349, this Jonathan S. He likes DC, Star Wars, and he's a Marvel nerd. Okay, gonna definitely say that the Aquaman movie could have been the worst movie I've ever seen if I didn't see Wonder Woman. Actually, I think it was worse than Wonder Woman. I just feel like they rushed that movie. Anyway, I should probably answer your question, Jonathan. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, being a vegan, neither the chicken nor the egg ever comes out. None of them show up. It's just vegetables and beans. All right. GDTXIG _ and he's apparently, he hearts Vanessa, and he says you can't grip the drip. All right. His question. Do you listen to Blueface? Oh, it's really weird. I have no desire to be, the old dude who tries to do everything that young people do. So I don't keep up with a lot of stuff, but I'm Googling that right now. No, I've actually never even heard of Blueface. Just this has nothing to do with anything. I'm just throwing this out here. Until you know what you want to do in life and you're financially secure for life, maybe you just shouldn't have any facial tattoos. Wait it out. Maybe a facial tattoo in your 50s or 60s when things kind of set for you. But I'd met a person with a face tattoo, and I felt comfortable enough around them to ask them some questions. And the first question I asked was, would you hire a babysitter that had facial tattoos? And the dude was like, no. And I'm like, then never mind. Yeah, just take it easy on the face tattoos, guys. All right. Fresh Prince Josu or Hosu? Jose? Anyway, Fresh Prince asked favorite artist? Well, favorite artist, if it had to be a sandwich artist, like at Subway, it'd probably be my friend Kendra. I have two friends named Kendra. One works at Subway, and the other one is like an animal patrol officer. But favorite artist, my favorite rapper of all time. It may not be the greatest rapper, but my favorite I relate to the most. Joe Budden, although he's retired, but he does the Joe Budden podcast now. But I really liked his music more than his podcast, and I love his podcast. One of my favorite rappers, and people say it to be funny, but I actually mean it, Will Smith. I think he was very lyrically gifted for the era he was rapping in, and he only rapped about clean things, and he's funny and relatable. And have you seen him on IG? He just gets cooler with age. Ugh. All right. Lynn's.life, Brooklyn, I believe born February 18th. Happy early birthday by like a month. And Brooklyn's a basic emotional teen, and and that's what her profile says. And then she has like maybe Chinese text. I don't know what that means, but I think it's awesome that you guys learn Chinese. I bet that's amazing for trade. All right. If Chipotle never exists, what would be your second option? Wow. Why would we throw that type of negative energy in the world? Don't we all need Chipotle in our life? If Chipotle never existed, well, that would be a very sad world. But if Chipotle never existed, second option would be Gambles. It's like a gaming bar in Kansas City, and they named a burrito after me. It's called the Camarito, and I got to choose the ingredients, and it's sweet potatoes, brown rice, black beans. I add a guac. I would never eat guac in a burrito. I order it without, but I know the people want the guac, and I'm here to please the people. And it also has sweet potato fries in the burrito. It's great. So that'll be my second option. Shout out to Gambles. And next question, wait, start over. Reset. Reverse. All right. S.A.M.I.A.M.1. I guess you guys were born in 2000, I guess. Actually, after like probably 2005, I guess you guys are born. It's way too early to do math, but you guys just showed up to the party late. All of the good like social media handles have been taken. You guys are left to underscores and dots and numbers. Anyway, what are you scared of the most, and how would you overcome it? Well, first off, what am I afraid of the most? And it's a completely rational fear. It's bears. Bears terrify me. Every time I go to a city, I don't care if it's New York, I don't care if it's Texas, I don't care if it's California. I always look up bear attack statistics, and you know what? There have been some bear sightings in North Texas. So just a heads up, bears are attacking everyone. They can outrun you, they can outclimb you, they run faster uphill than they do downhill. You can't get away from them. Yeah, so bears terrify me, and there's no way to overcome it. But also, I do have a fear of regret, which, like, in the way where I want to do everything because I don't want to regret not doing something. But I never really thought about it till now. I could regret doing something. But yeah, I would be afraid to look back at my life and think I passed up on opportunities, or I was too afraid to try something, and then I just never went after it, and then look back 20 years later and think, what if? Like, for example, I bought a guitar. I was living in Memphis and I didn't know anyone, and it was not a good neighborhood, so I stayed in the house a lot, my apartment, and I would just go to the boxing gym. I bought a guitar. I was like, I'll teach myself how to play guitar, and it hurt my fingers. And they're like, if you develop calluses, eventually you keep playing, play through it. If I would have continued doing that, that was in 2010, I would have been playing the guitar for 9 years now. Now, I don't exactly regret not playing the guitar, but that's an example of something that I would regret. Good question. Next, Cod Bryan. Apparently you can't guard him. Golf Boys. Take over SZN. All right. What's the meaning of success to you? My definition of success, well, for me personally, I think, first off, everyone kind of understands and grasps the concept that money doesn't buy happiness. But I do believe that although we all know it, we all want to find out just to be sure. So I don't think the meaning of success is money, but for me it's freedom. I value freedom so much more than money. Money can't buy, well, I guess money can buy freedom in some sense, but money usually comes with obligation and responsibility. What I consider success is being financially stable but free, and not kind of tied to a 9-to-5 job. Or I just want to travel, and I want to speak, and I want to do comedy, and I don't want to stress about money. It's not that money is that important, but I just want to do what I want when I want. And if I had $1 billion, I would dress the same. I might put remote start in my van, but yeah, not much would change. I would probably use that money to try to make other people happy. And as cheesy as that sounds, that's a genuine answer. All right. Who's next? Hood Fame Nelson. He's just laughing at Ashton. All right. Next question. Alexa Kaywood. Alexa Kaywood. Oh. I see Alexa's doing poetry online. I don't remember if I spoke about this at your school, but of course your social media profiles, it's an extension of who you are, and people will judge you solely upon your social media, because more people will see you online than you will ever meet in real life. So whatever you do or whatever you aspire to be, make sure your profile says who you are and what you do. But I see you do poetry, and I'm going to bookmark this and go back and read your poetry after. I like that you're putting yourself out there, especially with poetry, with something that could be so personal. So that's awesome. Keep that up. The question. This is an actual question. How fast do you think you could knock out Logan Paul and KSI? At the same time? Nah, I would never fight those two dudes. Those two dudes aren't boxers. But I know Logan Paul because of that one controversy thing. I didn't know who he was before that, and I didn't know who KSI was until he was fighting Logan Paul. And I think they fought, and it was a draw or something. But I was annoyed at first that two non-boxers are getting so much attention for boxing, but then I found out they were doing it for a good cause, and they gave the money to charity, and I'm all for that. I wouldn't knock either of those guys out. I'd buy him a burrito. All right. Next question. Jordan Jackson, that's JOI-J007. Would you ever consider playing another sport? Why or why not? A lot of people ask me if I would make the transition to MMA. No, definitely not. Why? Because people get kicked to sleep. I don't want to get kicked to sleep. And Also, it's all the different disciplines, which wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo, karate, boxing, kickboxing. There's so many different different fighting styles. If I walk into the cage as a boxer and then a wrestler takes me to the ground, everything I know is useless when I'm on my back. But any other sports, I'm not good. I'm not the best at sports. I'm not even that big of a fan of sports. I actually don't even watch boxing unless it's one of my friends fighting, which Caleb Plant, my buddy, he fought last night. So proud of him. He won his first world championship. And yeah, he has a great story filled with ups and downs. Caleb Plant. So check him out, whatever. Okay, next question is Angel F and username ANG_GTR. First question, can I get a follow back? All right. Remember when I said I said earlier that I do follow people back, but there's gonna be first of all, I need a reason to follow you. So if you're putting out funny videos or you're making creative stuff, Alexa, who's doing the poems, if I like her poems, I will follow her. That's the idea. I mean, the whole idea of a follow for a follow, I don't understand why people want more followers. The more people you allow to follow you, the more people you give an opinion on your life. So if you're posting cool things, I will follow you. Interesting things. It has to be happy. I stopped following a lot of things because everyone's talking about politics, and I don't care about your opinion so much that I'm not even going to share my political opinion. I keep everything to myself. So if you're posting a bunch of pictures of puppies and happy things, I will definitely follow you. All right, question. What's your ultimate dream car? Okay, dream car would be a Tesla. And I know they're making a $40,000 version, but I'm not going to make my dream car be a $40,000 car. But I would like a Tesla is definitely my dream car. I'm waiting for Elon Musk because I live in a Sprinter van, and I think that Elon needs to make an autonomous van. So I can be back here recording videos and working, and the van's just driving itself. And then by the time I'm done working for 8 hours, I'm in a different city, and you come out I feel like that's where the world is headed. Okay. Same question. So Angel is asking, what's your favorite quote? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Also, my other favorite quote, probably in the movie Talladega Nights, it's a Will Ferrell movie, and John C. Reilly's the other guy from Step Brothers. Will Ferrell was in a car crash, and the car was flipping, and it was just drawn out, dramatic. And then it goes to an Applebee's commercial, an entire Applebee's commercial, and it comes back, and his car is still flipping in a wreck, in a NASCAR wreck. And then the announcer, because Will Ferrell drives a Wonder Bread car, Ricky Bobby, a Wonder Bread car, the announcer just subtly says, "That Wonder Bread car is toast." That was not a lot of people picked up on the line, but that was one of my favorite movie quotes of all time. Okay, what's your favorite Disney movie? I'm not a big fan of Disney because a lot of people sing in the Disney movies, and I don't like musicals. Either you sing or you act. Don't put them both together, because I don't know how you're arguing with someone and that you're about to fight and you just break out in song and dance. I can't get on board with that. Okay. Ooh. You got a lot of questions here, Andrew. DC or Marvel? I would say definitely Marvel, 14 times out of 10. What's your favorite season? It would have to be summer. I love working out when it's hot, but I love sleeping when it's cold. So I think the perfect climate for me would be a desert. What's my favorite color? Gray. Because white's too hard to keep clean and black fades. Gray's a perfect color. Unfortunately, I sweat too much and I can't wear light gray. I just pit out. What's your favorite song as of right now? Favorite song right now. Man. I would say Oh, Let It All Work Out, the last song on Lil Wayne album. I just really like when rappers make sad songs, or when rappers make songs about their grandmas, because my grandma is one of my favorite people ever. So when I hear rappers, like when Drake talks about his grandma, or he plays like a voicemail from his grandma at the end of a sad song, like I really like that. I miss my grandma. Good questions, man. All right, Kenzie.rr.14. She's athlete, varsity, track, cross country, and sophomore. Sophomore varsity. Whoop whoop. All right. I play a lot of sports, obviously. Saw the profile, and I love that your profile says what you do, and also I love that it's private. I play a lot of sports and into so many others, but sometimes it's hard to find motivation for them. Sometimes I always try to stay positive, always push forward, but sometimes my hard work isn't actually my best work. How can you find the motivation that will drive you to always do your best, and how can you keep that motivation throughout your time playing? One thing I do, great question, by the way, and I love that you're doing so many different sports. I would say now that you're a sophomore, you're kind of getting close to having to make a decision, like for college, if you're going to try to get a scholarship or something. If you were a boxer and I was a boxer, but you were also a wrestler, and you also played the guitar, and you also did track, and we had a boxing match, and I'm putting 100% of my time into boxing, and you're putting, because you can't put 100% into everything. So let's say you're doing 4 sports, you're putting 25% into boxing, 25% into track, 25% into soccer, 25% into guitar. You're only giving 25%. I'm giving 100%. Who will win? So kind of, you're at a point where you kind of have to narrow down and focus your energy and time into just a few passions. You don't want to, spread yourself too thin. But how do I personally keep motivation? I make myself publicly accountable. So if I'm, it sounds silly, but if I'm going to nationals, I tell everybody I'm going to nationals. I post that I'm going to win, and some people would say you're putting it out into the universe. No. If I get tired, I'm like, oh man, I already told everybody I'm going to win. I guess I have to go a little bit harder, and it kind of motivates me to do it that way. And I love the way you say that sometimes that your hard work isn't actually your best work. That just could be you're spread too thin. And also, sometimes you could find yourself doing something because it's what you did, so you're still doing it. So that's my alarm to let me know that I have to be next to an hour. I set multiple alarms. Sorry. All right. With boxing, I continued boxing, and I didn't want to box for too long, but because it's what I've done, I just like, I'll just keep doing it. But if you're not 100% passionate about something and you can't give it your all, just don't do it. Remember when I was speaking on focus? Focus your attention, your time on very specific goals. All right. Ashley, and her name's Ash.adl. All right, you said you used to lie to yourself, but when that failed, you decided to try to be positive. Have you ever gotten to a spot where you found it difficult to be positive? And if so, how did you overcome it? Yeah, a few times. Like for one, when I said I was got suspended from boxing for a year in 2012, that was very difficult. Very difficult to stay positive, but that one wasn't even on me. It was just I have amazing friends, and my friends helped me stay positive through that. And the hardest part about failing is not the actual failing part, but it's like how long it takes to prove that you're not a failure and you can actually accomplish it. But great question. All right. Sid the Kid _YK. Sid. All right. When you went vegan, what immediate changes did you see? What's your philosophy on true motivation in the context of why you still get up in the morning to run? All All right, so when I first went vegan, what immediate changes I see? I was very gassy. But after that, like I had to do no processed foods, no salt, no sugar, just a very bland diet for 28 days, and it was terrible. But what it did teach me was how to read my body. So I know now, after doing that, I'm able to tell when my body's craving carbs, when it's craving fat, when it's craving protein. So, but I did realize that when you stay away from processed foods, when you stay away from food that come in boxes, foods that come in cans, it's so much easier to regulate weight for like weigh-ins and boxing and stuff. And next question, what's your philosophy on true motivation in the context of why you still get up in the morning to run? Guess my philosophy is I think it's impossible to motivate people. I wouldn't consider myself a motivational speaker. I would consider myself a perspective, a pointer of perspectives, or a perspective speaker, because your drive, your desire, your will, those are the things that will motivate you. It's either because you can't motivate me to, you can motivate me to be the world's greatest cheerleader. Why? Because I don't want to do cheerleading. If it's something that you actually want, you won't need motivation for it. If it's something that you really, really want, something you're dying to accomplish, you will sacrifice what you need to accomplish your goal. The problem is a lot of people kind of choose cool things or the popular things to kind of go after. And if you're going after it because it's what's cool and it's what's in right now, then save your time. If it's an actual true passion, like boxing was my passion, I knew that I wanted boxing more than anything else. I set my alarm, it goes off once, I wake up and I go run because I know it's what I want. So if you can't find the motivation to do something, it's more likely than not, it's not something you actually love. It could be something that you're into, or maybe an infatuation, but if you don't have a desire, it'll be hard to find motivation. So find what you love. All right, next question. Wonkyan, and that's C underscore E underscore E underscore C underscore E underscore C underscore 1092002. Oh, I guess you were born October 9th, 2002, or September 10th, because it seems European. Anyway. All right. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. Your presentation was refreshing. Was a refreshing surprise compared to most of our assemblies. I don't know if it's a good question to ask, but what advice do you have on overcoming addictions? Actually, I have plenty of advice on this. I'm currently writing an ebook, which I'll release as like a free PDF. But just speaking of addictions and things that I've dealt with personally, DM me and I will ask you not to share it as yet, but DM me and I'll send you a link to it. It's still a rough draft, but I would definitely say, especially at your age, where I'm assuming you're in high school, it would be best to ask for help and reach out. So, and I know asking for help is difficult, and I spoke about that in the speech. It's difficult. It can sometimes be embarrassing, but there's no shame in asking for help. And so I was addicted to, or I was heavily dependent on sleeping pills. It was prescribed to me because I have severe sleepwalking issues, and it actually didn't help. And after I realized it wasn't helping, I tried to get off, and it was difficult. And I was on that for about 6 or 7 years. Releasing a blog about that in the next week. but I thought it would just be like impossible to fix. But once you reach out and you ask someone for help, there are guidance counselors, and you can reach out and ask a guidance counselor privately. And sure, if you speak to them and you're trying to keep it a secret from your parents or whatever the case may be, because I know these are sensitive times, but speak to someone older, or actually, we'll skip over that. DM me. Let's talk. Next question. Lovely _star. That's LOV3LY _ST4R. What do you do when you think about giving up on your dreams? Simple question. I don't. If it's like, okay, so when I started doing speaking, it was very difficult. It was difficult for me to get into schools. It was difficult for me to find people to speak to, and for the first year it was so frustrating. But now that I've kind of figured it out and I'm getting better with putting my story out, I'm so happy. But I wouldn't have been this happy if it wasn't difficult. If I like tried it and was successful off the bat, it wouldn't be really worth anything to me. So the fact that you have to struggle, and the fact that it's difficult, that's the beautiful part of it. The longer you struggle, the better the outcome. Like the higher the high when you finally do accomplish it. All right, next question. Gerlo _unknown. All right. Gerlo asked, what if you're following your dream? What if following your dream is not enough to support you? Should you pick a more successful path, which is not your dream, and follow that first, so that you are confident that that even if you fail on achieving your dreams, you have another way of income or work, and then move on to following your dreams? Or do you go ahead and follow your dream? I know we should do what we love for a living, but still got bills to pay and properly help others unless you're well off yourself. Great question. So in the speech, I started the speech off at your school by saying, I believe in chasing dreams as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences of not achieving them. The greater the dream, the more fun the dream, the more attractive the dream, the more people are going after it. So it's the more competitive it is, the more difficult it is to achieve. When I was speaking earlier about kind of focusing your energy on one thing, it's a balance. Now, if your dream is not enough to support you, here's the thing. Why don't you cut your costs? So when I wanted to pursue speaking, I knew that, just starting off a new business, it would be difficult. So what I started doing was I adopted a minimalistic lifestyle. I started selling all my stuff on Poshmark for money and to keep myself afloat, because I focused all my time and energy on speaking. I stopped going out to eat. I cut all my expenses down. Bought a van so I don't have to pay for a home, and I cut my expenses. So I think most of the money we spend is we've turned just things we desire into necessities. I saw a homeless guy with a cell phone. If there's something that you actually want, sacrifice things that you have and just kind of live cheaper, if that goal is that important to you. You like Jordans, you like expensive sneakers, sell all your sneakers, keep yourself afloat to chase your dream. But again, don't chase your dreams unless you're dealing with the consequences of not achieving them. Also, I like the fact that you're looking towards a backup plan. Backup plans are very important, and they're a safety net. So if you fail at one career, you still have a safety net to fall on. But there is something to be said about not having a safety net. when I didn't have a safety net, I knew that I had no other choice but to succeed. So but everyone's situation is a little bit different, and some people have dependents, some people have kids, some people have family members they need to take care of. Good question. AY.1618. Guess you were born, I don't know, maybe it's just your favorite numbers. TED Talk? No. I like... So I enjoy making my own path towards things, and I like to do things my own way. And I don't like the whole structure of TED Talks, and it's like every word's rehearsed. I don't like speakers like that, because I might as well just... If there's no personality in what you say and everything is just so monotone and there's no passion behind it, and that's how they train you to speak, because that's real speak. No, I might as well just read what you're saying if there's no passion and it's too structured. So, not a big fan of TED Talks. It'll be great exposure for me, but not my style. I'm not willing to change that. Good question. KDTV_, that's Kevin. And Kevin says strength is the only thing that matters in the world. Everything else is just a delusion for the weak. I don't know if that's an original quote, bro, but nice one. You said you do stand-up comedy. How do you find the courage to tell a joke in front of an audience? Do you get nervous? How do I find the courage to tell a joke? Oh, I genuinely think I'm funny. Now, not everyone thinks I'm funny, but it does really hurt my feelings when I bomb. Yeah, it really hurts my feelings. But yeah, I don't know. Risk for reward. When I bomb, I feel terrible. Like when I don't get laughs or anything. But when I'm killing, it's amazing. It's such a high. All right. Next question is Leslie. Leslie's name is XIVLESLIE. If you could say something, if you could say something to you of 5 years ago, what would you tell him? Ooh, that's great. It'll be 2014. I would tell myself to read more. I would definitely tell myself to read more. I've just started reading more and more in the last couple of years, and I've learned so... I know it sounds silly, but I didn't realize how much you could learn from reading. It's ridiculous. Like, I would do something, and I go through all these trial and errors, and then I kind of figure something out, and then I tell someone, and they're like, oh, that's blah, 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 blah theory. I'm like, what's that? And I look it up, and I could have just learned everything I learned from my mistakes through reading. So I would definitely tell me to go back and read. Good question. Next question. No_me_importa. Have you ever thought about doing a different career throughout your boxing career? Like, have you ever lost hope? No. I mean, when I was suspended, I did personal training for a year. I was a fat personal trainer. Not good marketing, but no, just always been kind of boxing, and now I'm kind of focusing my energy on speaking. All right, next question. Gwen.Paschal Verizon. Cool. How do you guys like him? Well, I guess that's a question for them, not me. I hope they like me. Okay, next question. Lovely Star again. How do you come up with the idea to add humor into your motivational speaking? I'll tell you exactly how. Because I don't want to listen to somebody that's not entertaining. I remember, as everyone, like in high school or in school, you get excited when there's assembly because, I don't know, you're not in class. But you get to the assembly and it's just some boring assembly. And I didn't want to be that boring thing that showed up to schools. So I wanted to bring energy. I want to bring happiness and joy and fun. So and also when I started doing stand-up comedy before I started speaking, and when I got into speaking, I was like, I don't know how to write a speech, but I do know how to write a joke. So I kind of meshed both worlds into one. Great question. And follow-up question. Why did you want to become a motivational speaker? Simple, because I wish that someone would have spoken to me about certain things in a certain way to make it relatable to me. So yeah. Okay, Oreo King. What motivates you? What motivates you? Seeing like my potential. I like to see growth, and I like looking back at a speech I gave like a year ago and being embarrassed on how bad it is compared to how good I am now, and I get excited to see that. Underscore Patrico .g. This is Patrico Gonzalez. Thanks for coming to the school. Great speech, man. Also, what is the biggest accomplishment not boxing wise to you? My biggest accomplishment is being able to go back to places I came from and speak. So I grew up going not to a boys and girls club, but it was a after school center like that. I'm going there next week. I'll go to New York. Passing by, I'm going to be speaking there, and I get to speak to kids that go to the same program that I went to. And the fact that they will have me back means that it makes me happy. Yeah, so that's one of my biggest accomplishments. Have you ever fought? This is Darren.x. Have you ever fought anyone famous like Mayweather? No, I mean, like, boxing is like soccer. No one watches soccer. It's just people in America don't watch soccer. So a lot of the bigger names are bigger in Europe and other countries, but just not big here. Okay, underscore Caleb Baker underscore. Let's have a dance battle. Bro, why didn't you call me out? Why didn't you call me out when I was there? You scared? Bro, I'll give you that work. You want to dance battle with me? Actually, nah, I wouldn't be a good dance battler. All right. Dead Blonde, Ghost Girl. Who or what are your inspirations? I inspire me. That was a Kanye answer. Kanye said he inspires himself. His greatest regret is he'll never be able to watch himself perform live. I would say my inspiration is everybody who is doing something that they don't look like they would be doing. So like when I sing karaoke, when someone chooses a song that they don't look like they know the words to and they're stepping out of their comfort zone, or when you see if I were to see when I just see like Modest Yahoo, he's a singer. He doesn't look like he would do what he does, and he sings the way he does. And when I see someone when someone does something that's not usually accepted in their culture or a norm in their culture, when someone steps out of their comfort zone and they like Eminem, like a white rapper or a black golf player or anyone who steps out of their comfort zone, that those people inspire me. Yeah, and we have a few more questions. Of course, I said everybody who asked, who doesn't want their handle called out, you can ask me a question in DMs, and I won't say who asked. All right, why don't I box anymore? Just kind of enjoy speaking a little more. Okay. Okay, that's a question I'll answer privately. Okay, how do you keep an optimistic mindset? I lie to myself. Something bad happens, I'll lie to myself to get myself over it, and then I kind of assess the situation and see how I can not make that same mistake again. Okay, next question. It doesn't really hurt to get hit in boxing. It doesn't feel like bread, but that's really weird. This person asked, does it feel like bread? No, I don't even know what that means, but yeah, it doesn't really hurt. What's my favorite country I've been to? Finland would have to be one of my favorite countries. I really enjoyed Finland. Okay, where am I going next? Next, well, I guess in about 10 minutes, I'm going to head to Kaufman High School. But after that, I'm driving to North Carolina. I'll probably drive 11 straight hours to Atlanta, stay the night in Atlanta, drive the next 4 hours to Raleigh, North Carolina, park my van, hop on a flight to New York, doing 2 speaking gigs and 2 comedy shows out there, then flying back on Sunday to Raleigh to my van, then doing a comedy show Sunday night and speaking in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina all week. Yeah, that was I guess this has been about 45 minutes. Oh, that was cool. It was maybe it's like the length of a class schedule. I want to thank you guys for having me. Thank you for all of your great questions. And if you have follow-up questions, you could just comment under it and ask the follow-up question. I probably won't make a video, but I'll just text the answers back. Just let you know I had to turn off the heat in the van, and it's 33 degrees. And I can't feel my hands. Yeah, can't feel my hands. So we'll wrap this up. Gonna make a pot of coffee and yeah, chase your dreams. Thanks for having me, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Yeah. All right. And let's take it out with a little bit of Warner Brothers. DJ. Bum, 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 bum.